Since my colleague referenced a question that we asked last night, the question was about voters having concerns about the president's age, and his response was that that was my judgment. It was obviously making a reference to public polls that are out there that indicate that voters do have this concern. So does the president not believe that many voters have this concern about his age?
I mean, the president's talked about it. He's joked about his age. Right? He has joked about his age, understanding what voters might think. He has. He's done that pretty often. I think I think the other thing that we want to make sure that you all understand is that this is a president that also has delivered for the American people. That is a fact. That is something that we see in the data. That is something that we see in the policy, whether it's a bipartisan legislation that we've been able to get through that people didn't think we would be able to get through, whether it's as it relates to like infrastructure or the Chips and Science Act, real things that American people feel. And for him, that's what he believes is important to focus on, is what the American people need in the sense of issues that matter to them. And that's what he wants his focus to be. That's what we want our focus to be as well. That's what we're always trying to communicate with all of you. But he jokes around about it all the time. He makes jokes about his age all the time.
I'm just asking for clarification on why the fact that we brought up that concern prompted him to say, this is your judgment. As though there isn't that shows that voters do have that concern.
Well, I just stated moments ago, it is your judgment, right? In the sense of like that is not what we see, right? When we see what
it wasn't my judgment.
But meaning more broadly. I'm not talking about you specifically.
Yes,
more broadly.
I'm just asking, does the president believe and understand that that is a concern that voters have?
I already said he understands. That's why he makes jokes about it. He understands that. But what we are trying to say is our judgment from here, what we see from this president is a president that is zeroed in and focused on the American people. When we see him working, he is focused. And we don't see what, for example, all of this was brought up by the report. We do not believe that part of the report lives in reality. And that is what we're speaking to. That is what we're talking about.
Do you think there's any risk to the president sounding like he's dismissing that concern when he has that kind of reaction to a question like that?
Look, the president is going to obviously speak for himself and lay out what he thinks is important to talk about as it relates to the American people. When he wants to talk about the economy, he wants to talk about healthcare. We are talking this week about gun violence, right? How do we prevent gun violence, which is an issue that is incredibly important to communities across the country. When you think about gun violence being an epidemic in this country, those are the things that he wants to focus on. Those are the things that he wants to make sure that the American people understand what we're doing to deal with those critical issues. As it relates to his age, he makes jokes about it. He does. You hear him make jokes about it all the time. He gets it. He gets it. But he also wants to make sure that we are talking about the issues that, and I talked about this almost starting this the briefing here, is what people really care about when they are sitting around their kitchen table. And that matters. We believe that matters as well.